Hello, friends. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys podcast. After a loss to the Vikings, the season's basically over. We'll talk about who you're mad at, what we're going to do about this, all the things. The show starts. Meow. Hello, friends of ours. Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast. It's good to be with you on a Monday as we are discussing the Cowboys losing to the Minnesota Vikings and the season pretty much being over. But we'll see about that. And, of course, this show is brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks, where the promo code DLLS will get you hooked up. We appreciate our friends at Prize Picks. And I appreciate J.J. McCarthy, who on Prize Picks, the thing that I mashed the most was J.J. McCarthy, more than 190 passing yards, because I've seen this Cowboys defense play. It is not a mock draft Monday, Duck. I see you in the chat. It is not a mock draft. It is 99 hours. It is not mock draft time. No, it is not the start of the Cowboys draft show. Although we are creeping up on it, and that may end up being a topic of discussion very soon, maybe today. We are living on the 1% chance. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. My name is Jeff. I'm next to the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
Michael Parsons sucks.
That's okay. Not today.
That's
a
bad
day.
Why would you do that?
Our guys,
why'd you say it then?
Our guy's hurt.
Why would you do that? Can we do a better drop?
Next to him is the second greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Ali Jawad.
I hate when old men hit my nipples.
And that is a factual statement.
Three times the other. You did it 3 times the other day too in the locker room. So
3 times in the locker room?
yeah.
Clarence,
Bam,
that can't be your go-to. You can't just be nipping people. You can't just be nipping
What's the
people.
Cowboy defense would have nipped somebody last night?
All right, in the chat, I'd like to know
Handsed them, nipped them, done something.
if there is somebody you're most upset with, feel free to hit us with it.
I think we know the name.
What's the answer here? How do we fix this thing here? All of those things I want in the chat. And if you want to put tanks in the chat, you can. You can put ice tanks in the chat. I got no problem with that, if that's where you're at. We do need to lose these last 3. I know they're not going to try to lose these last 3. They're going to play their best football,
Right.
probably win them all. But I hope that they accidentally lose all 3, that would be great.
Pickup, yeah.
They didn't try to lose yesterday, allegedly.
No, they didn't try to lose. Well, I do think the middle linebacker might be trying to lose.
Which one? Logan was the starter.
You know which one.
Listen.
No, timeout. I'm going to do this. I got to do this one.
Don't
now.
do it.
I'm going to put you on the goal line now, okay?
Put me on the goal line.
We're on the goal line.
I saw it.
We're on the goal line, okay?
What was the defense?
This is the stance of the 1D tackle. He down there. He getting ready. He down there, right? This 1D tackle right here. Now, the other D tackle is right over him. And he's like this right here. And then the linebacker, he back him. He ready, right? Hut! 1D tackle go, nah! And I'm these 2 guys, right? They're right here, and I'm right here, right between there, right? And this other one, he's in the screen, and he's right here, and they're right here, and they're right here. So now there's these 2 offensive linemen. There's nobody between this spot, right? This is the spot right here. We got a D tackle here. We got one there. And so they're going to go between the one spot where there's nobody between, because number 59 ran a linebacker sweep.
No, he ran the other hole.
He ran a linebacker sweep, and they handed it to the fullback straight up the middle for a touchdown, untouched. He's not trying his best.
Okay.
He's not trying his best.
That's fine.
That's
fine. But see,
I take it back. He is trying his best. That's Jerry Jones' fault. They traded for that.
Well, see, this is my thing, and it's crazy. And everybody got mad at me yesterday because I tweeted, 59's been bad all year.
He's been bad for 5 years.
Okay, but in Dallas specifically,
yeah.
He's been bad all year. When they specifically traded for Logan Wilson, Jerry pointed out the linebacker play and not meeting the hole. So why did it take 4 games for them to start Logan Wilson? And to me, it had everything to do with the fan outcry because they see them both in practice. And then you get yesterday, I think they started Logan just to appease the fans or appease the media, appease the outcry. But I think Murray still played more snaps. Both of them were credited with a half a tackle.
Let's go.
A half a tackle.
Let's go.
By your middle linebacker.
Let's go.
Both were credited each with a half a tackle.
That's what I'm
Not
talking
a solo.
That's what I'm talking about.
Assist. Both got an
That's
assist
what I'm talking
throughout the whole game. That's all they got.
Linebacker
But again, it's a symptom of a larger problem. The decision making from the ownership, starting at the beginning of training camp, starting with the beginning of the season, getting rid of your best players, and Jerry Jones saying, I built a team to make the playoffs. Did you?
No, he didn't build a team to make playoffs.
Did you build a team to make the playoffs? And the frustrating thing with Cowboy fans, now we're going to 31 years since the last Super Bowl title in 1995. And
you talking about that little drought?
That little drought.
And
the Cowboys fans have been frustrated, been disillusioned, they've been numb after, going back to the loss in the playoffs, the Green Bay loss. Last year they were numb to it all. This year they got excited again. You got Schotty vibes and culture and Dak playing well, and you got to give them credit how they handled the Marshawn Leland thing. The thing is not a thing. The tragedy of Marshawn Leland's suicide death. Winning 3 games, winning through the last 4, getting back to the playoffs, watching as you predicted the Eagles falling apart to give them a chance. They pulled them back in.
We still got a chance.
They pulled them back
1%.
in. The Cowboys pulled the fans
1%
back in. You had to win out, but it was a manageable win out. It was
you could do it.
The Vikings, which were 5-8, and the Chargers at home, and they played the best football. Then you end the season with Washington and the Giants. So they pulled people back in, and it was like the Peanuts all over again. Charlie Brown fell for Lucy. She pulled the ball right from under the Cowboy fan. This time she gonna let me kick it. This time it's real. The Cowboy fans thought it was something, and Lucy did it again.
Ollie, have you seen A Charlie Brown Christmas?
Y'all know Lucy.
Yes. Okay.
Well, we saw it live in person a couple weeks ago when the Giants.
I mean,
we saw it in this game when the punter pulled it, tossed it over his head to Aubrey. That's why Aubrey missed all them kicks. He's not used to running cardio. He was tired.
Lucy.
Yeah,
Did it again.
Aubrey got tired.
We fell for the banana in the tailpipe. You Cowboy fans fell for the banana in the tailpipe. You thought they was gonna do it.
Yeah, they'll do that to you. I do now. I'll fight you, Clarence. I'll fight you a little bit.
Fight me a little bit because we always want to blame Murray. But there's a whole lot of blame to go around.
There is.
And that's fine. Murray is a symptom, right? I mean, he's a big part of a problem, but he's a symptom. I believe that Jerry Jones will cave to public pressure if that public pressure leads to a lack of interest in his team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm banking on that to get Matt Eberflus fired because I don't think he can sell Matt Eberflus to this fan base again. I don't think he can. I think you would lose interest. But, I mean, some people that I trust think that they might keep him, and I hope not. But I don't know the answer to why Murray kept playing so many snaps and is still playing so many snaps other than they don't have a great option no matter what. But once you've traded for another guy because you recognize he can't play and the other guy isn't immediately taking all the snaps, they're still playing professional football. I can't believe that it's Jerry coming down from on high and saying, Twitter said Kenneth needs to sit. I can't.
No,
I can't.
It's not that simple, but I've been here a long time. The reason we didn't draft Brandon Moss was because of the media criticism of how the team was 2 bad boys. We can't have another bad boy around here.
Bring me all the bad boys.
The reason they fired Wade Phillips because he was Camp Cupcake. Because of all the media criticism. I mean, he has, and there are way more examples that he has succumbed to fan outcry, media pressure, all of that before. And again, I'm not saying, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek because it's just on brand for the Cowboys. Because the coaches watch the film. Listen, Murray's been bad, but clearly what we've seen with Logan Wilson, he does not demand to be put on the field.
No, he doesn't demand it. I think Kenneth Murray demands to be taken off.
Maybe so.
Absolutely.
But they watched Logan Wilson too.
Yeah.
And they don't want him on the field, clearly.
Well, they could just play with 10.
They actually they did have one play. Let's take a timeout because they had 10 guys on defense.
I mean, you'll cover the same amount of gaps with 10 as you do with 11.
And Schotty went out to Eberflus. Did he say, "What are we doing out here? What's going on?"
What happened?
I think one that timeout. I think when they had to call the timeout, Schotty went out to Eberflus.
Yeah,
but
the 10-minute. Yeah,
is the bloom falling off a little bit of Schotty because he had no answers for
Brian Flores.
He had no answer for Brian Flores. I do call in the question. You open the game with a fake field goal, beautiful call because you're being aggressive, but trying to win, trying to get this team some firepower. You have 2 other 4th down tries that you are successful in the first half. Third quarter, big spot in the third quarter. You go up 20-17, have a chance. 4th and 3 at your own 18. 4th and 3 at your own 18. Knowing your defense has stopped anybody, knowing you've had red zone struggles, knowing that you need to start scoring touchdowns, he kicked the field goal.
In the red zone going in.
Yeah, on 18. Yes. He kicked the field goal to make it 23-17. Of course,
they came right
back down and scored.
Really quickly, too.
Then you tried a 59-yard field goal. You missed it. They came down and scored again, and ball game's over. But you had a chance to give your team some impetus. He said there was no moment in the game after the game that, there was a game. Well, you had a chance to give your team some momentum. Right there to me.
Yeah. And you mentioned blame going all around. You mentioned the 4th downs, the calls, and all that stuff. Look, when your offense is going 2 for 12 on 3rd downs.
It's bad.
When you're 2 for 5 in the red zone, you don't have the defense to make up for that stuff. And when you're kicking 6 field goals in one game, that's not usually a recipe of success there.
And I like how they said, we kicked that last field goal, make it 8.
No, that's the right play. Now, at that point, that's the right play.
Yeah,
it's just how can we score 11 points?
It had no impact.
It's like all 3 phases are at fault, too. Like, first quarter in the game, what is Kevontae Turpin doing not running up to down that punt?
What's he ever doing?
Instead, the ball's at the 3-yard line. You're punting a few plays later. 2 plays later, the Vikings are in the end zone.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't in that scenario. And obviously it landed a ways in front of him. In that scenario, a lot of the returners will just start yelling at people like, hey, it's going to land short. It's going to land short. But if you can get there.
She has the speed to do it.
They're not going to hit you. You know how to fair catch. And then run also. Right. You do that both. Right. You do that a lot. And so that was bad. And I do think our friend Bob Sturm tweeted this morning. And I hinted at this a few weeks ago, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I do believe this. I want to have the best kicker in the league. I like it. Brandon Aubrey missed 2 kicks. That's bad. Bad game for Brandon Aubrey. I want to have the best kicker in the league. I don't want my coach coaching like I have the best kicker in the league.
Right.
Like, the way that I feel like this Cowboys offense, as soon as they get to the 40-yard line or better, is like, life's good now. I don't think that's how you win in 2025, especially when you have a horrendous defense. You win by being aggressive. Your offense is the best thing you have. Don't prepare to settle when you're at 60-ish yards and in offensively. Don't second and long run. Don't play to score points.
And let's examine that. Ever since George Pickens said he was unstoppable, inevitable.
Oh, we can talk about George too.
Yeah, unstoppable, inevitable. You can't do nothing to stop my slant.
We can talk about George.
We ain't seen him catch a slant.
Well, that's because we told the world about it and they started covering.
They weren't watching film, right?
No,
he ain't caught a slant the last 2 weeks. And where was 3 for 33? This unstoppable offense. You had answers to the test and showed.
Like you mentioned, they gave them the run game.
They're like, fine,
you run the ball. We're just not letting you get 3. I mean, I know CD had over 100 yards, but it wasn't the same explosive offense we've seen at home. They gave them the run game. But then quickly back to the defense, too, 6 pressures and no sacks on J.J. McCarthy.
Well, and I know that the pressure.
That wasn't no real pressure.
I think
it wasn't no real pressure. I know.
One or two may have been real pressure. Most of the pressure wasn't real pressure.
They had some tackles get in early a few times. Like they had a
few times, about 3. They had about 3.
But I think that, and the numbers here, even they say that they did not do a good job pressuring the quarterback this year. This is not a good pressure team. Like you can spin it or isolate a single thing and be like, well, their pressure rate, and you can do whatever you want to do. They don't have a good pass rushing edge player on the whole roster.
They don't.
And I think Ezeraku can be that guy. I think Ezeraku's rookie season has been totally fine. I am optimistic about who he is as a player today and who he's going to be. He ain't a dominant pass rushing threat.
No.
The best pass rusher on this entire roster for this team this year, they grabbed from the couch right before the season started.
Clowney.
Now, James Houston technically has been the best pass rusher.
Okay.
And then the other best one is a different guy.
Yeah.
They grabbed off the
couch as well.
right before the season started. Like, they're not a good pass rushing team. They're terrible at linebacker. The way they run the
and cornerback.
The way they run the defense that your coordinator is insistent you run, that's what they suck at the most. And like I said, that goes into, and we'll spend lots of time on Eberflus, the number one reason you have to fire him is the thing they suck at the most is what he's supposed to be good at.
Yeah.
This is what I run. And when you run what you run, you're the worst defense in the history of the league by a mile. The only time that you're anything approaching okay is when you run the stuff you don't want to run. He has to be fired. More Eberflus, more Pickens, all the Cowboys stuff. Hit the like button while you're here. We sure would appreciate it. And we'll keep coping. We'll do all of it next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. I would like to shout out our friends at Arena Club. Think about the traditional trading card game. You buy a box, right? You rip open the packs. You pull out the few valuable cards. You send them things off for grading. Weeks later, you get them back, and only then can you sell them to the shop or online or whatever, buy another box, and you can start that process all over again, right? At Arena Club, they've flipped that whole thing on its head. What used to take weeks now happens in minutes, and it's all on their digital platform. They've taken the long grind of physical card trading and turned that into instant digital gratification. You can get authentic, graded cards instantly on Arena Club. You decide, do I want to hold this, sell it, or have it shipped directly to me? You can also decide to take an instant cash offer based on market value. One click, cash in, no guesswork. It's our friends at Arena Club, and they have got you hooked up. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase. And to do that, you just head over to arenaclub.com/DLLS. Again, that code that you need is DLLS. Also want to shout out our friends at Aura Frames. It is time. We're getting into crunch time now. If you haven't gotten the things you need for the holiday season, our friends at Aura Frames got you covered. It's AURA. And they're the coolest frames out there. You can include a message with it that's like preloaded onto that sucker when you give it as a gift. And obviously you can add pictures or videos or whatever you want to this digital frame at any time. It makes for a great gift for anybody. So instead of doing what I do, which is cruising the end caps of a store on the 24th, hit up our friends at Aura Frames and get a personal gift for the ones that you love. They'll appreciate you. And for a limited time, you can save on that perfect gift. Go to auraframes.com. You can get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames. They're named #1 by Wirecutter by using the promo code DLLS at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code DLLS. This deal is exclusive to our listeners. Frames do sell out fast. Order yours now. Get it in time for the holidays. Support our show by mentioning us at checkout. You need the promo code DLLS. Terms and conditions apply. All right, it is the DLS Cowboys podcast. Please hit the like button. You know, we need you in these times. We need each other in these times. We get enough likes. I'll do a mock draft for one of you guys. A couple of you guys. I'll do a mock draft. We'll get it together. We got a lot of stuff to fix. In the chat, what is the primary thing you want to fix? If I can get you one player that I promise you is young, good, he's going to start. If I get you one, what position does he play? I want to know that in the chat. So, yeah, I'm good on Eberflus. Probably been good on Eberflus. But I asked super producer John to find me something from this game because I was just curious because eyeball test made me think something, and I wanted to know. And so I wanted to see zone versus man when the Cowboys ran it. Because you probably noticed during the broadcast, they had a lot of praise for Deron Bland when he was covering Justin Jefferson. And I'm like, all the time they're giving him this praise. One, they were terrible passes from McCarthy. You don't know what Justin Jefferson's going to do if you give him a chance to catch a pass. But two, it was, oh, yeah, you're playing up on him and you're playing man coverage. Deron Bland can do that. Savon Rebel likes to do that. Trevon Diggs likes to do that. They all like to do that. And don't get me wrong, the 7.2 yards per attempt is still fine. 50% completion is bad for a quarterback. When they let their guys do what they can do, they got a chance.
Yeah.
When they do what Matt Eberflus wants to do, And to his credit, 40% man is a giant number for him.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big number just in the NFL, but you're playing a young, bad quarterback. You want to get after him, in theory. 15 yards per attempt in zone, and that's what Matt Eberflus runs. Over 80% completion. And that's his defense. So you can tell me every player on the Cowboys sucks. You can tell me that. But I've seen a lot of these guys play way better football, right? Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson have been the starting safety tandem on some good to decent defenses. Deron Bland has been a good to decent. They never dominant, but even without dominant, at least they force a bunch of turnovers. And I do have a sneaking suspicion that I've told you guys before on how they force those turnovers, and it's not here anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just the Minnesota defense and the Cowboys defense. Let's play this game. Person by person on the field.
Yeah.
Is Minnesota way better than you on defense? The 11 players, not what they've done this season. The 11 players. They don't have a D tackle better than Quentin Williams. Not close. They might not have one better than Kenny Clark. They might not have one better than Osa. Hooker and Wilson at their best might be better than their safeties. Bland at his best might be the best cornerback of both teams.
Or their safety is pretty good at his best.
No, Harrison Smith, he old now.
I'm just saying.
He old now. Well, okay, I'll put it this way. Even if you wanted to tell me Minnesota's players, man for man, are better than the Cowboys, I'll let you. I won't fight you too hard. Are they 146 times better?
No.
Then why is ours the worst defense in the league and theirs is good?
And again, we're talking about Eberflus. And
that's the answer.
Even it's disheartening to a certain extent when Eberflus was with the Bears the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
So Eberflus knows the
Bears
NFC,
are really good as soon as they got rid of him.
He knows NFC North better than anybody, right?
Yeah. He does.
Right?
Yeah.
He should know the NFC. He should have some secrets about the NFC North. How have the Cowboys done against the NFC North this year? How has that defense looked against the NFC North this year?
They all score 100.
What did you bring here?
3-1.
What's the secret sauce that got you hired?
You know what it is.
If you can't,
you know what it is.
If you can't have an answer for the NFC North.
Let's ask the chat. Do you guys know why Eberflus got hired? Take a wild guess.
Why are you here?
Any guess? What do you think got him the job?
We do know why.
The head coach didn't hire him. So what happened? And why did he get hired? Anybody have a guess? Is it because your team isn't as interested in winning as other teams? Is it because your team has an owner who his currency is celebrity, and the best thing that celebrities can do is get people to talk about him, and he gets you to talk about him good and bad? Right. Is it because he hired a guy that he's comfortable with that didn't make as much money as the guys who are the best at this? Is it because your owner is cheap? And the thing about it's not about winning. And I am not saying he doesn't want to win. Jerry Jones wants to win. Jerry Jones believes he can win. He believes he makes good decisions to win. But if he could separate himself from wanting to be personally comfortable and and know all the people he works with and instead look for the best people, he would give himself a better chance to win. But he can't do it. He can't. He's got to have the people he knows he likes that look up to him and worship him and will make him comfortable. It's not about the best people. Ben Johnson didn't get an interview because Jerry wasn't going to pay that much.
Yeah.
And you're the richest franchise in the NFL, and he doesn't want to pay that much. He wanted the cheap guy that I know.
The vibes guy.
Right. And this is not a shot at Schotty. It's about the process. Like I tweeted last night, a rotten process will never prosper, okay? When you treat people bad, you're not going to prosper.
Right.
The process was rotten, and for them to act like, oh yeah, we fixed it. How you handle Micah, how you handle the coaching decisions, it was a rotten process. And yes, you feel good about some things, you had some success. And, oh, Jerry might have it right. Oh, Jerry knows what he's doing. Just give Jerry credit. At the end of the day, no.
No, the two best times they've been at putting teams together are when Jerry Jones wasn't making the decisions. The mockumentary, the Cowboys mockumentary on Netflix, it's not a documentary when the guy that it's about controls what's on it. That's not a documentary. to the celebration of the 90s Cowboy show. Like, I don't understand. And I guess because you can't get inside someone else's brain and see how it goes. But I can't imagine that anyone in the world could have experienced exactly what he's experienced and still do things the way he does things, right? When you bought the Cowboys, thank God, and maybe this is the worst thing that happened, is the guy that he was friends with, that he wanted to bring with him to coach, was also an incredible coach with an incredible eye for talent. He was both of those things. And as soon as those two weren't together anymore, you went to being very bad at talent acquisition for a long time, to the point where Troy Aikman said in your own mockumentary, so did Michael Irvin. Like, if Jimmy was there and we were still great and we were still getting all the players, like, Michael would have risked his life to keep playing. Troy wouldn't have retired. But Troy was like, I'm watching a guy who can't draft. Right. He doesn't know what he's doing, but that's what he wants to do. He's playing at it. And so I'm not going to risk my body and my life for where we have no shot because of that guy. And he's out. And they were bad at it until Will McClay. They finally let in like a shadow GM because they were such a train wreck at the draft that they had their board set up wrong because the scouts and the coaches weren't on the same page on what they wanted to do. So enter Will McClay. You start gathering talent pretty well, and now you're on a bad 3-year run. It's just like, for the life of me, I can't imagine how he can look at what he does in terms of who he hires and the fact that he wants to cut corners on costs of his training room and how much he pays his coaching staff and complain about how many coaches are on the coaching staff. Like, all of the little things that you have all the money in the world to do these things, that you want a shortcut because it doesn't make for something pretty on the TV. Like, he ain't going to go short on the stadium or the Star. Those reflect on how awesome he is. So those buildings are going to be sweet. He'll put money into those. But the nitty-gritty, the stuff that wins football games, the stuff that gives you an advantage by having the best and the brightest and the best resources inside of it, like all of these different things that you don't do, how? I can't understand how you don't come to that realization at some point. Yeah. That, I'm probably wrong to have a one-man coaching search and settle on a guy who he wasn't going to hire Schotty. If McCarthy would have been lowballed again, he was going to keep McCarthy. Yeah. Like, it's just from my friend to my other friend to my other friend to my other friend, and you sell to people that you're trying? And in his mind, he is. I just don't know how that makes sense in his brain. I don't. And I don't know how I got on a Jerry rant when they lost to the Vikings.
Listen, I was just thinking about this. Jeff got a lot to say. You've been on, probably had 2 or 3 rants already. You got,
it's hard, man.
You got 2, 3 rants, 2, 3 mini pods. We're going.
It's hard.
John, how you cooking?
That's a week of rants in one.
After the show.
But like,
it's all on your mind.
It's like the Luka trade. Like, this is our team.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Well,
there's a lot of players on this team that I pull for. It's the team that I pull for. I live here. I'm from here. I want this team to win. Right. The guy who has the most to say on if we can win or not is terrible at his job.
You don't even have to go head coach, even like you mentioned, Ben Johnson, all that. At least defensive coordinator. Like, didn't they have Robert Saleh in the building? I know that was for the honor the Rooney Rule and all that stuff, but look what he's doing in San Fran. Mine is Bosa, mine is Fred Warner in games, and they're still playing good football, and yet you settle for one of your buddies.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because, like, Jesse got some flack last night, and after he did his halftime barbecue chicken, and there are people that think that we root against the Cowboys and we celebrate when they lose. No, that's not the case.
I hate that it's hard for them to be actually competitive because the general manager is awful. Yeah. It's hard and it's frustrating. And the fact that so many in the fan base stand by what he does is insane to me.
And we're going to get into it because we didn't get into it about Diggs. How they handle their listen.
Sorry.
Really bad.
It's insane how the fan base just buys everything he sells, hook, line, and sinker. It's just like, you just, whatever Jerry says that he didn't want to play. Whatever Jerry said, whatever Jerry done is great, and we're not supposed to call him on it.
He traded one of the 2 best players, one of the 2 best defensive players on planet Earth right before the season started, and sold it to his fan base that I'm building a roster to win now.
Right.
That's a rebuilding trade. And he wasn't doing it to rebuild. This is the thing.
I know.
Like, he wasn't doing it because he knew they needed to rebuild. That's not why he did it. He did it because him. He did it because I'm pissed at that guy. I'm mad at him. Get him out of here. And now in the aftermath, I'm going to spin this in a trade where you got 2 first-round picks back because you gave up a Hall of Fame player in his prime, so you got 2 first-round picks back. That's what people do when their season's shot, when it's time to build draft capital because we need so much more and we have to build for the next few years, and hopefully we'll be good in 2 or 3 years. That's what those trades are. And he told people they were going to be better. And people believed him.
Oh, there are people that believe that Kenny Clark was better than
I tweeted the history Micah made of 5 years of 10 straight start his career, and here's the comments of, oh, well, get over it, guys, or oh, we don't need him, or we got Quinnen now, or whatever. And Quinnen's a player, absolutely, but come on, guys. Don't sit here and pretend. You guys are the same Cowboys are the same fans who were crying that night when Micah Parsons was dealt. And now all of a sudden, a blink, oh, we don't need him.
Yeah.
Right. And I wish him the best. The injury is unfortunate.
That
Speedy
sucks.
recovery, absolutely, but he made that team so much better. Come on now.
Well, I do hope. It sucks. People getting hurt sucks. But they did also lose that game, and if they could lose some more, that'd be good, because now I'm just trying to get this draft pick, I'm trying to get this draft pick right.
Back on your draft pick.
Let's talk about how crazy the Trevon Diggs thing is and where we're at with that. We've got more Cowboys stuff. Please hit the like button while you're here. I apologize for the first rant.
The first one.
I apologize for the first one, the third one, and the fourth one, but not the second one. We continue on the DLLS Cowboys podcast next. I'd like to tell my friends, that's you, about my other friends, that's them, at Factor Meal Kits. You want to have everything just brought right to your door. You want convenience in this world, don't you? When it comes to putting your meals together, you want to eat healthy, don't you? When it comes to what am I actually going to prepare, our friends at Factor Meal Kit can take care of all of that for you. They've got incredible variety, the widest selection they've ever had of weekly meal options. You can do premium seafood, choices like salmon and shrimp. There's no extra cost for that. They have different things that are going to support your wellness goals. Mediterranean diet options, that sounds delicious. Savor global flavors, first-time Asian-inspired meals, things like that. They got all sorts of good stuff for you. Eat smart at factormeals.com/DLLS50 off. Use the code DLLS50 off. You get 50% off your first box and free breakfast for a year. Code is DLLS50 off at factormeals.com. 50% off that first box. Free breakfast for a year. Delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. The offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. I'd also like to salute our friends at Branded Bills. I love me some Branded Bills. If you're a college fan, they've got a partnership with 40 different colleges, so especially a lot of Big 12, now SEC, I guess, if you're including Texas. But they got partnerships. They got really cool hats. I love them. All sorts of different hats. Very comfortable, very stylish, very good. You want ones with the state of Texas on it? I have the one with the rope on it and the state of Texas on it. It's wonderful. I love my Branded Bills hats. I love my Branded Bills t-shirts. So they've got cool gear. They've got wonderful hats. Best in the business, I would say. And they want you to get all of those things. And because you watch this show, you get the hookup with our friends at Branded Bills. They can also help you with custom things. You want to have something made? You have a brand? Guess who can help you design and put something together and get that made? Our friends at Branded Bills. So just head on over there, go to brandedbills.com, and what you get if you use the code BBDLLS is you get 15% off your first order. So take advantage of that. Get you a couple of hats and a t-shirt. brandedbills.com. Use the code BBDLLS. All right, let's talk about Trevon Diggs. What in the world's going on? He's not healthy enough to play. That's what Jerry Jones told us after the game.
Yeah, he said he's healthy and ready to play. Revealed his conversations with the coaches initially that they told him he needs to be more consistent in practice, which is what Flus and Schotty talked to us about last week. He mentioned going into week 15, he was a part of the game plan, which is what led to him thinking that, all right, I'm going to be on the field.
Yeah.
And then, again, Flus, Schotty said what they said. Jerry, after the game, mentioning that he's not healthy. And so you got all these people saying things like that. It's just a bunch of, I don't want to say excuses, but a bunch of talk to kind of block off Trevon from ever seeing the field.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, we've talked about it. It's personal. It is personal. And I texted you guys on Friday. I talked to you guys before the show. Diggs took a lot of reps with the first team in practice. He thought he was playing. The coach thought he was playing. Okay? He thought he was playing. And then Saturday morning, he gets the call that he's not playing. Why? And it goes back to, if you're not going to play him, then you're wasting reps. This is, 21, Kalen Carson could have got those reps in practice with the first team. He needs as many reps as he can get. Right. As you continue to see, he continues to struggle. Okay? But you're wasting reps on a guy all week in practice. and then you wait to Saturday morning, he's not playing. Stephen Jones basically told us, late Friday, we'll make that decision tomorrow. The fact that he said we'll make that decision tomorrow, you already knew he wasn't playing. Why are we at this point after 10 days? He was cleared to, he could have been available the week before, but you kept him out of the Detroit game. Why are we at this point with Diggs? It's personal. It's been personal. And we talked about it on the show. When he got hurt last year, I said, this is the last of Diggs, and his rehab and everything else. And we know, then you come into this season, he gets fined, or not fined, but he gets $500,000 docked out of his salary because of the show for the offseason program while he was rehabbing, trying to get on the field. And he chose to rehab in Miami rather than around here. He sided with Micah Parsons, doing Micah Parsons' contract dispute. He ripped the defense coordinator, criticized the defense coordinator, did not play his best football, has not played his best football. And Jerry Jones acknowledged, he's frustrated Diggs has not been on the field since signing the contract. He talked about it last night. He hasn't played the last 3 years, not just this year. So there's some angst there with the front office about paying Diggs, giving him a 5-year, $97 million contract extension, and him not being on the field for much of the last 3 seasons because of that. So you put all that together and you come to this week, this whole buzzword of consistency. What does that even mean? What does consistency even mean? If he's practicing with the first team all week in practice, then he didn't show consistency? He showed consistency enough to you to put him out there and put him part of the game plan. And now he's hurt and not ready to go. It's a buzzword. And now the point is, why play him at all?
Why even open the window from the start if this is how it's going to go down?
Right. That's the weird part.
Like,
you opened a window.
You had no
that
interest
means
in
you
playing
have to activate him within 3 weeks or he can't play. And this will be the last week. If he's not activated on Saturday, he can't play the rest of the season. And
and there's no reason to play him because at this point, the playoffs are off the table.
They're not off the table, sir.
Okay, you got a 1% chance to make the playoffs.
We need the Eagles to lose all 3 and we win all 3.
Right.
No problem. It's possible.
Playoffs are off the table.
Maybe.
As Jerry said, I can add and I can count. It don't look good.
I don't believe that.
Playoffs are off the table. At this point, he's a progress stopper if you play him.
Stopping whose progress?
Well, Josh Butler's ready to go. Tell Jesse Josh Butler's ready to go, okay?
I know. I saw
Kalen Carson needs all the reps he can get. Revel needs all the reps he can get. What's the point of playing him now with he's a veteran? You're moving on from him after the season. You don't want him to get hurt in his last 3 weeks to complicate things.
Yeah.
And your plans to move on and get some salary cap relief. There's no reason to play him now.
There's something real wonky. Your season was on the line.
Yes. Right. Play your best player.
Your cornerback play has been as bad as anyone's in football all year. And he's been practicing for 2 weeks, and he says he's healthy. And I don't know. I mean, I get it. Like, you stack up. You just went through a lot of the Diggs things, right? Like, you can start with the way that he rehabs or doesn't. Mm-hmm. The fact that you find him. The fact that he talked bad about you when you find him. The fact that he was Micah's ally while Micah was going through it. The fact that he's been hurt all the time and you're mad that you paid him and all of these different things.
He was benched earlier too. Was it the Washington game?
And when he played bad. And
right.
when he played bad. When he played for a little bit. And I think you should also include the accident at home is probably just one more thing to throw on the pile. But even with all of those, we're playing for our season.
Yeah, you're playing to win. Put your best players out.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't.
Put your best guys out.
I don't know. Let's hit the super chats. Apologize, got a little behind on you guys here. Start at the top. ACG J Dog. Eberflus' stubbornness has cost his team 7 losses, 4th and 3, and rushing 3 shows everyone he's incompetent and should not coach in this league or even little league. Jerry could get him to gig at where the kids go to school. Get him at one of those.
Preston Wood.
Yeah. Gary's in the super chat. Eberflus has got to be betting the overs against opposing offenses at this point. It's not good. Chris is in there. Screw it then. Play with no linebackers. 59 has to go. C to the Ortez. Y'all think Schotty is over the honeymoon phase of being the coach of the Cowboys and now ready to send Flus to the moon? Will he say something? Yeah, because I think even the fact that Schotty didn't. It's not like Schotty had interest from other teams to be a head coach, right? It took being in this scenario where
to get the gig.
You were the guy that was continuity and familiarity to Jerry, that was good with Dak, and you would do it for cheap, relatively speaking. Like all of those things worked in his favor. But I do think Jerry still listens to people. Like he's not going to be like, "Shut up, Schotty." He'd be like, "What do you think about?" And like I think they would talk about those things. And I don't know how anybody could stand up for the job that the defensive coordinator has done on this team. So hopefully, Maj is in the super chat. He got hired to scheme pressures. Not the right answer, but funny. That is funny because we don't need pressure players. We could just scheme it. And K-Lot's in the super chat. Sign Pickens and give D-tackle Williams more money. Schotty needs to be asked, is he comfortable with Dak breaking passing records? With Dak winning multiple league MVPs, first-team All-Pro, Dak winning multiple Super Bowl MVPs, I'd be comfortable with that. I would appreciate that. I would like that a lot. I think I still want him to sign Pickens. I think.
Y'all on Pickens? You out on Pickens?
I'm not out on Pickens. I have two things on Pickens. I have two things. One is I don't think I'm okay with, well, CD went out of the game and so I was doubled. And so that's why,
right.
It wasn't me. It was, they were doubling me. Do you know what they've done to CD Lamb for 5 years? Do you know what they do to Jamar Chase every week? Do you know what they do to name the other top receivers every week?
Yep.
Yeah.
They doubled me doesn't work for why I can't produce. That doesn't work. And I get that it plays a role, but that doesn't work. CD Lamb's been double teamed his whole career.
Yeah.
It's like Jamar Chase is probably triple teamed every play, and whatever. We're going to figure this out. And then the other thing is just like I still want him because I think having the potential of that sort of overwhelming force at wide receiver makes it easier to run. It makes it easier. Like it helps everybody to just have a guy who it's like, oh, well, this guy's a decent receiver and he can start and he can win against man coverage or whatever. That's not a force multiplier. I want force multipliers.
Right. And which opens the door when we talk about it, make it easier for run because you're going to have to make a decision in running back too in the offseason.
Yeah.
And he's going to want more money.
And that's fine. He can have some more money or we can find a different guy. Either one's fine with me.
Because let's be honest, he had a lot of success last night. It was against light boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
They're Minnesota's whole, let's blitz Dak, but also let's play coverage in the secondary. And so when they broke the blitz, there was room to run, when they got through. But it was more because they were more worried about the receivers beating them over the top than giving you a 10-yard run every now and then.
Yeah. So my only other thing with Pickens, and it goes to this question that I see in the chat from Austin there. Would you rather have Pickens or an all-pro left tackle if you could only have one? All-pro left tackle.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so where I take it to is in no scenario in my head is it okay to just let George Pickens walk. In no scenario.
Well, in no scenario are you going to go and trade or just sign an all-pro left tackle. So let's be honest about that. They're not going to get a left tackle.
So now I'll finish where I was going, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
You son of a biscuit. And so what I would like to see is if you decide that something else helps me more, well, I need him to get the ball the next 3 weeks. I need you to end it on a high. I need a 1,500-yard year. Mm-hmm. He's at 12. Get there, franchise tag him, take the calls. Trade him for something. Like if you view your team as I'm going to need a right tackle, I'm going to need a running back, I'm going to need a linebacker, I'm going to need a pass rusher or two, I'm going to need a corner, I'm going to need a safety or two. Like I am just too far away. And my pass game can still be good without him. And my money could go allocated somewhere else. And I could trade him to fill in some of that. Okay. You could talk me into that one. You could talk me into as long as you are getting something back for him. And it's not just, well, we don't want to pay him. That would be awful. Like, congrats. You get a 3rd-round pick a year later. Like, that don't work for me. But if you could parlay him into your next right tackle, if you could parlay him into a good starting corner, And then you have to tell me that Jerry Jones is going to spend his money. And you have to understand that you are telling me that he's going to do something that he's never done in the salary cap era, which is aggressively sign free agents instead of filling up his cap with Kenneth Murray's and Kyer Elam's. And I don't know if you can talk me into that. Life's too good for him.
No.
He's the most famous. He's worth the most. People are the most interested. Whatever he does, even if it's super wrong and awful, people get so mad at him, which also fuels him. And then he'll do something else that'll bring most of you right back around. And now he's good again. So I don't know. That's where I am with the Cowboys now. I don't know. We'll do the rest of the things next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. I don't know. I know them hats are nice, though. I need that one. That one's about to be at the house. I ordered it about a week ago, the beige DLLS.
The Cadillac. That's Cadillac.
I like that black one, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like
they're all nice.
In the front.
I wish there was an all black. I would like that the white one on the end to be all black.
You just want no logo whatsoever? You just want
just the black logo, DLLS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, black logo, black hat, black logo. I want all black hat.
I'll make one for you.
Yeah, that's what I want.
We got hats in the merch store now, so you just go to alldlls.com and you can go ahead and get you one of them things. We hadn't had hats until just recently. So if you want one, go get you one. I'm getting one. And we also want to encourage you to sign up to be a diehard. That'd be good for you. I think it'd be good for your soul. You could get all the best information about all your DFW sports teams, not just the one that we're currently disappointed in. You can get all of it, Ad-free experience on the website. You can also get, I think my favorite part of when you sign up to be a diehard is that you are now invited to the Discord. And in the Discord, we can be more reckless with our words.
All these D's, disappointment, DLLS, Discord. Is that? And we stand for this. We represent disappointment now.
Dairy Dones.
We represent
Dairy
disappointment.
Dome.
Well, it's been a disappointing.
Disappointment Cowboys sports teams.
You know the thing about Jerry?
Oh,
another one. This is number 5 for you now.
Sign up to be a diehard. Just sign up to be a diehard. The Discord's great. We talk about all your different sport teams.
we can bond together. You see how down Jeff is.
See what happens to me?
You see how down he is.
You see what happens to me?
This is Jerry's fault. This is your doing.
This is what happens when you care about sports,
And your team.
And then you talk about sports, and then people get mad at you for being honest about sports.
They get mad.
Because they just want to be optimistic about everything. Your GM's
it's so
terrible.
hard to.
It's his fault. It's time to be a diehard. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Somebody in there said that it sounds like Jeff's warming up to the idea of Flournoy as wide receiver 2. I do want to say,
no,
I like Ryan. I like Ryan Flournoy.
He's a 3.
I like him.
Yes.
He might be a 2. It's not going to stop me from wanting to have
Pickens.
Another guy who's even better than Pickens, whatever. Like, if you think that Lamb and Flournoy are 2 of your starters next season, not enough. Give me another one. If it's not Pickens, I need something. But, boy, they need lots of things. Let's knock out the Super Chats before we finish this thing up. Let me see here. What do I got? Kerry Matthews is in the Super Chat. He said, I say season's over. Let's not stress about the remainder. And let's go draft a Randy or Danny White equivalent player. I'm in. I didn't see him play, but Clarence tells me Randy White was a good player.
He was.
So if we could get Randy
I
White.
was there yesterday.
What's so crazy? They had the Dirty Dozen there.
Dirty Dozen.
And that's a frustrating thing as a Cowboys
What's the Dirty
fan.
Dozen?
The Cowboys 1975 draft class.
Oh. Well, we could sure use a
We
good draft
need
class.
that. Yeah.
That's the first thing about
We could use that.
where we are covering the Cowboys, the Cowboy fans, that you have to celebrate past accomplishments, past stars, because there's nothing today to celebrate. There's nothing right now to celebrate, nothing right now to feel good about. So you find yourself celebrating the Dirty Dozen, celebrating those Super Bowl titles, celebrating the Dez Bryant, celebrating the individual players that made you feel good about your team rather than team success, because there's been no team success for the last 30 years.
You got to go far back for the celebrations too.
Boy, and I think the lack of team success, at least recently, might be to me the most frustrating one. And it's just because, like, I like football. I study football. We talk about football. I love the draft. I like to study that. But I should not be able every year to tell you the moves that a professional team made and exactly how they're going to fail and exactly how dumb it is and be right every year. It shouldn't happen. But it's the way they've done things lately that's put them where they are. We're going to go into this offseason, and maybe we can play this game in just a second. What exactly do they need for next year? And the answer is going to be a lot. And that is because they've done everything wrong for about 4 years since they've been missing on most of their draft picks.
The draft picks, yeah.
And this rookie class, I'm not saying that about yet, right? Like, I think Ezraku's a player. I think Tyler Booker might be great. I think /hope Revel is a player. We'll see. I'm not writing off this draft class. But for a number of years, what made them really good and the one time they had like a legit chance is like, Micah Parsons with the 12th pick.
Yeah.
You got CeeDee Lamb with the, 18, 19, 17, something like that.
He was supposed to fall there.
Pick. You found difference-making, game-changing guys who don't make the money. And then you can, keep building around that. And in the NFL, you got to churn. You got to churn, baby. You got to keep young talent coming so that when other talent, if you're good, people want your players. They're going to sign your players. And how are you going to replace it? And so it's not just that every offseason for the last 3, they have lost considerably more talent than they've brought back in. But they've also pretended that's not true and pretended that we got guys who are going to fix this that are already here, or we just drafted guys that are already going to fix this, and they've been wrong for 3 straight years. Like this offseason, it would be, I'm not saying he was a great player, but Eric Kendricks is gone. Somebody's going to have to run this defense. And their answer was to trade an asset, not a big asset, but to trade an asset for a guy who's already failed in the league for 4 years. A team is they're going to cut him if they can't get anybody to give him anything because he comes with a first-round salary and he can't play.
Right.
And they said that's the answer to fix middle linebacker. All right. Jordan Lewis was the best corner on this team last year. We're not going to pay him. So he's going to go. Got to find us a corner. What are we going to do? We're going to give up an asset to bring in a guy who's already failed that makes first-round money. And that's going to fix it.
And he's gone.
And so many people, I don't want to pretend I'm unique in this, so many people told you before the season started. We have years of NFL football on these guys, and they can't play. And the Cowboys told you they could play, they can start, and they can be really good. And people bought it. And it's 3 off seasons in a row of that. Tank Lawrence is gone. You didn't replace Tank Lawrence. But Jadeveon Clowney? Is that Tank Lawrence's replacement? Like the people they've decided to pay versus not pay has been wrong. The talent that's left has exceeded the talent that's come in for years now. They refuse to aggressively use free agency for real players to replace them. The only reason this team doesn't totally suck is thankfully you traded for George Pickens and you got lucky on Javonte. They're in a bad way. They're in a bad way. And I didn't even mention Micah Parsons. That's the dumbest. And I don't care. Oh, yeah. Like, people can get mad about it. Like, let it go, let it go. You know what else I'm not over? I'm not over Luka Doncic being a Laker because it's stupid.
You're not letting those things go.
When you trade generational players away that I'm supposed to get to cheer for 12, 15 years and then watch them go in the Hall of Fame, and you trade them away for, hey, don't worry, we got 2 picks that are going to be in the spots where we got Guyton and Mozzie. Like, I don't care. Don't talk about Micah. Don't talk about Micah. The season was sunk the day you traded him. Mm-hmm. That's a trade that hurts you for 5 years. I don't want to hear don't talk about it. They're not good. So I'm going to talk about the reasons they're not good. One of those reasons is because they traded a guy who the snaps he played for 4 years when he was on the field, surrounded by things similar to this. You had the number 1 defense in football in EPA per play on the snaps he played. And you traded that away because an old dude got pissed. That is stupid. And that will be stupid, and I will not forget it until you have a good defense.
Mentioned earlier.
Sorry, that was rant number 11. Wow.
That was 11, yes. You're on the roll. I was like, hey, let's sit back.
We're talking about
enjoy the show.
I'm
talking about the corners, the turnovers, and you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Mikey got those picks.
Why were they doing it?
Shocking. Trevon Diggs was an interception machine, and Deron Bland was an interception machine, and they're not anymore. What happened? Who could ever know?
Yeah,
Suddenly, Keyshawn Nixon's a Pro Bowler in Green Bay. I wonder why. Who could ever know? But Jerry told you got Kenny Clark. We're good. Silly.
Rant number 12.
Kenny Clark, we're good. He had to make a bigger trade to address the fact that his first trade was that bad. Kenny Clark fixes everything. And then you make a bigger trade for a guy who plays the same position. That fixed everything. But don't worry, now he fixed everything. And your defense is awful.
You know what's the sad part? You'd think he would learn his lesson, but that's never going to happen.
He doesn't learn his lessons.
I remember.
He doesn't have to because he's winning.
You have.
He's winning.
Look, I know you've been doing this 30 years. You know you've
He's
been
winning.
through many moments like this. But where does this stack up, Joe?
Listen, I remember Buzz line from the early 2000s when everybody used to criticize Jerry. Did you like those 3 Super Bowls? Did you like them? Did you like those 3
I
Super
did,
Bowl
and I
titles?
thank God
Did
every
you
day
like
that
those
Jimmy
Super Bowl
Johnson
titles?
was your good friend.
I gave you that. Now I'm thinking about, did you like those 3 12-5 seasons? Did you like them 3 12-5 seasons? You know how hard it is to miss the playoffs in this league? Back-to-back seasons. You know how bad of a franchise you have to be to miss the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, be out of the playoffs before at the beginning of December in back-to-back seasons? In this league?
With a Pro Bowl franchise quarterback?
In this
With
receiver.
an all-pro receiver,
Yes.
with one of the best offensive linemen in football, with 2 great receivers. Like, to do that, yeah, the only way to pull that off would be you'd have to find a way to sabotage your entire defense right before the season starts. You would have to have your hiring processes be horrendous and end up with people who aren't the most qualified for the job. You'd have to do things like that to pull this off, and I can't imagine any NFL team would do that. I just can't imagine it. Oh, wait. So it sucks. And so now we're just going to put our hope in. They have 2 first-round picks this year, and the belief that Jerry Jones will do something that he never does in the offseason and spend his money.
Actually, I can active free agency. And those 2 picks, I mean, I don't even think it's an argument. Those are your most important picks in years with the way this team is going right now.
Yeah.
And you have no second or third round pick. Keep in mind, too.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Just in theory, every player is equally good at each position. Your roster is what it is right now. With those 2 first-round picks, what would you want them to fix? I can give you 2 players. And in theory, they're going to be solid starters as a rookie. You can have 2. Give me 2 positions.
I'd say linebacker. And as much as people probably don't want this, but they got to fix it, you can't go in empty-handed at offensive tackle and expect to go with what you have right now. And I say that because you need all the help on defense. But that's
Clarence,
an important position.
Offensive tackle and linebacker.
I think you need an edge rusher.
Okay, give me one more.
Edge rusher and cornerback.
The reason I brought it up is, first of all, it's very hard to go 2 for 2 and have guys immediately step in and like fix something.
Yeah.
And I gave you each 2 picks, and you picked 4 different positions. That's where we are.
Yeah.
That is where we are.
And neither one of you picked a safety.
Because
Neither one of you picked a running
I'm
back.
not going to pick a safety because we don't value safeties like that. You want a good safety, but when we look at first-round picks and positions of need and value, we talk about the declining value of the running back. What are the safeties in that same category?
Yeah, they are. And I think that's the part that makes it equally hard is ideally you can draft pure in the smartest way that you can, which means that there is a factor of if I get a great pass rusher with a first-round pick, that's a $47 million player now. That's the going rate of that.
Right.
If I get a great safety, that's a $14 million player.
Right.
This guy's worth over 3 times more. So you would like to be able to prioritize the valuable positions with those picks. But they may have put themselves in a spot where you might be picking, well, I feel better about this player at the less valuable spot. Like they could pick two guys at very low value spots.
Yeah,
you could go safety running back. You could go linebacker safety. You could because they need everything.
Yeah, you off the ball linebacker over. You're not. I mean, listen, you want a competent off the ball linebacker, but I'm not picking that over a cornerback or a pass rusher or left tackle or whatever else. And as we found out, Michael Parsons, a pass rusher, helps the safety look better. Helps the quarterback look better.
We love you all. Thanks for being here. Come back tomorrow. Hit the like button on your way out. Sorry about rant number 17. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool, everybody. We love you. Be easy.
We all silly like the mayor.